Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our cozy corner of English stories. Today, we're going to dive into a tale about something many of us might find a little scary: a day without a phone. The story is called A Day Unplugged. So, find a comfortable spot, maybe grab a cup of tea, and let's begin. The sun streamed through Lily's window, painting golden stripes across her bedroom floor. Usually, the first thing she did was reach for her phone, scrolling through notifications and the endless stream of news and photos. But this morning was different. Her phone, after a clumsy encounter with a glass of water the night before, was completely silent. It wouldn't turn on. A wave of panic washed over her. No messages, no updates. How would she know what her friends were doing? How would she check the weather or the bus schedule? Her first instinct was to rush to a repair shop, but then a strange idea popped into her head. What if she just didn't? What if, for one day, she lived without her phone? The thought was both terrifying and strangely thrilling. She decided to try it. Getting ready felt unusual. She couldn't listen to her morning podcast. Instead, she heard the birds singing outside her window, a sound she hadn't truly noticed in years. She looked out and saw a bright blue sky with a few fluffy clouds. It seemed like a nice day, no weather app needed. She walked to the bus stop, feeling a little lost. Normally, she would have her headphones on, lost in music or an audiobook. Today, she just watched the world around her. She saw a little boy pointing excitedly at a dog with a red ball. She noticed the vibrant colors of the flowers in Mrs. Gable's garden next door. She even made eye contact with an elderly man at the bus stop, and they exchanged a small, friendly smile. It felt nice, connected. When the bus arrived, she didn't know if it was late or early. She just got on. She found a seat by the window, and without a screen to look at, she watched the city go by. She saw buildings she had never really looked at before, noticing the intricate details on an old brick facade and the funny mural painted on a side street. It was like seeing her own city for the first time. At her favorite cafe, where she planned to meet her friend Tom, she arrived a few minutes early. Usually, she would kill time by scrolling through social media. Today, she simply sat and sipped her coffee. She watched the barista skillfully create latte art. She listened to the hum of conversation around her, the clinking of cups, the gentle jazz music playing in the background. It was calming. Tom arrived, looking flustered. "I'm so sorry I'm late. I sent you a message, but you didn't reply. Is your phone okay?" Lily smiled and explained what had happened. Tom was shocked. "A whole day without your phone? I don't think I could survive." Their conversation was different that day. Without the constant distraction of notifications, they truly listened to each other. They didn't pull out their phones to show each other a funny video or a photo. They just talked. They made plans for the weekend, shared stories from their week, and laughed until their stomachs hurt. It felt like the old days before smartphones became an extension of their hands. When Tom left, Lily realized it was one of the best conversations they'd had in a long time. With the afternoon stretching ahead of her, Lily decided to visit the local library. It was a place she hadn't been to in ages. The smell of old books and polished wood greeted her like an old friend. Without her phone to search for ebooks, she wandered through the aisles, running her fingers along the spines of the books. She picked up a novel based purely on its interesting cover, a mystery set in a small coastal town. She found a comfortable armchair in a quiet corner and started to read. The world outside faded away. There were no pings, no vibrations, just the rustle of pages and the story unfolding in her mind. She became completely absorbed in the world of the book, feeling the suspense and guessing the identity of the culprit. Hours passed in what felt like minutes. As evening approached, she started walking home. She didn't have her phone to navigate, but she knew the way. The sun was setting, casting a warm orange glow over everything. She stopped on a small bridge over the park's creek to watch it. People were jogging, families were having picnics, and kids were laughing on the playground. She felt a sense of peace she hadn't experienced in a very long time. That evening, at home, she cooked dinner. She couldn't look up a recipe online, so she improvised with the ingredients she had. She put on an old CD, and the music filled her small apartment. The simple act of chopping vegetables and stirring a pot felt meditative, The meal she made was simple but delicious. She savored every bite, not rushing to check her phone between spoonfuls. Before bed, she sat by her window with her new library book. The silence of her apartment was no longer scary. It was peaceful. She read until her eyes grew heavy. She realized she hadn't felt anxious all day. She hadn't worried about what she was missing online. Instead, she had been present in her own life. She had noticed the small beauties of the world, connected with people in a meaningful way, and rediscovered the joy of simple pleasures like reading a book. The next morning, she took her phone to the repair shop. When she got it back, working perfectly, it felt strange in her hand. The screen lit up with a flood of notifications from the day before, but instead of diving in, she put it down. She decided to make a change. From that day on, she started having unplugged time every day. Sometimes it was just for an hour while she read a book. On weekends, she would leave her phone at home when she went for a walk in the park. Her day without a phone had been an accident, but it taught her a valuable lesson. It showed her that the world was full of wonderful things to see, hear, and experience, right in front of her. She just needed to look up from her screen to see them. It wasn't about getting rid of technology completely, but about finding a balance. It was about remembering to live in the real world, not just the digital one. And for Lily, that was the most important discovery of all. And that's the end of our story for today. I hope you enjoyed A Day Unplugged. It's a nice reminder for all of us to take a break from our screens every now and then. What do you think you would do on a day without your phone? It's interesting to think about. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back soon with another story. Until then, take care and stay cozy. Bye for now.